The second candle we light in the Advent season is faith. So this week we want to focus on our faith and pray throughout this week that God would increase our faith. And my short reflection with you is what faith is about. The Catechism of the Catholic Church teaches that faith is the theological virtue by which we believe in God and believe all that He has said and revealed to us, and that the Holy Church proposes for our belief because He is truth itself. So this definition of faith underscores three important elements. First, the belief in God. Second, they believe in all that God has said and revealed to us. So they believe in His Word, the Bible, the Word of God. And the third is what the Church proposes for our belief. Here the sacraments and the traditions of the Church. So when these three come together, they help us focus on the various dimensions of faith and how they are all important even as we grow our relationship with God. By faith, we freely commit ourselves to God. And this commitment helps us to the desire to know God and also to know His will. So if you are thinking about your faith life, think also in terms of how you are deepening your relationship with God, how you are knowing God. But not just that, how in your daily life you are trying to do God's will. As you know, Hebrews 11 verse 1 also explains faith for us. And here we have that popular saying that faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So faith therefore brings into the present that what you are desiring from God would also come to pass. And I want to share with you a saying or a quote from the first encyclical that Pope Francis wrote, Spes Salvi, in Hope. This was in 2007. And our Holy Father Pope Francis tells us that faith is not merely a personal reaching out towards things to come that are still totally absent. Faith gives us something. It gives us even now something of the reality we are waiting for. And he adds that faith draws the future into the present, so that it's no longer a simply not yet. The fact that this future exists changes the present. The present is touched by the future reality, and thus the things of the future spill over into those of the present, and those of the present into those of the future. I like that analogy, because what you are hoping for in the future does not just remain in the future. Right? It even changes how you approach the future, even as you are waiting for the future to manifest itself in the present. So the present is touched by that future vision, the future hope, the future faith that you are asking for. So as we think about faith, your faith in God, your hope in God's promises should enable you to be convinced that what you are asking for, because you believe in God, you believe in His Word, your aspirations will come to fruition. It is also important to note that service and witnessing are important aspects of faith. And that's why Jesus will say that if you acknowledge me before men, I'll acknowledge you before my Father. If you witness your faith, I in turn will acknowledge you before my Father. And also in James chapter 2, James will tell us that faith without works is dead. So you must live out your faith by witnessing and also by your acts of charity. Like hope, there are also sins that we can commit against faith. And this comes down to the first commandment. Some of those things as the Catechism teaches us, are voluntary doubt. When you talk about voluntary doubt, you are disregarding or refusing to hold as true what God has revealed. So it is a willful disposition on your own part that you don't regard what God has revealed to be true, or what the church is proposing for your belief. You don't regard it. Involuntary doubt is a tricky one. It refers to that hesitation in believing. When you hesitate to believe, or you have difficulty in overcoming those objections which are connected to faith, you are in the realm of involuntary doubt. And the church teaches that if you deliberately cultivate involuntary doubt, it can lead to spiritual blindness. Sometimes we can find ourselves in that realm, hesitating to believe certain things because of the happenings around us. And that is where you pray, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. So that you don't stay doubting, but you work your way out to believing again. The last thing against faith is incredulity. That is a total neglect. When you totally neglect the revealed truth, or you don't give any assent to it, that is a grievous error. So as we reflect on faith this week, keep in mind the three dimensions which come together to form faith: believing in God, believing in the revealed world, the revealed word, and believing also in what the church teaches. And as you do all this, remember that faith allows the future to come into the present in a more forceful way, even as you believe in God. The model for faith is Abraham. So I encourage you that this week, pay attention to your faith and grow your faith, even as we go through the second week of Advent. May the Lord bless you. And as you work through your faith, may His face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. As you work through your faith, may you get to know God better. And may you relate with Him in a very convincing way. Have a blessed and a fruitful week.